So first I want to say that since this is a group setting, it's not going to be maybe as clear for you, because in one-on-one guidance, I can see where you are. Usually there's some blocks, some other parts are not allowing you to mesh with the protector, and you feel like you are the pain and you are the anxiety. So I do want to say that this session is meant for you to start exploring it, to learn how to stay in yourself by observing all of those parts. And some of you maybe already have such a strong self and awareness of the situation that you can go deeper. But yeah, it's just not possible in the group setting to really unburden the exiles and go through the whole process, because it does require a one-on-one process. But I will do my best to guide you through allowing space to connect with what parts are activated. But know that if you are experiencing difficulty in seeing it, sensing it, it's totally normal. First time doing it, a lot of my clients are saying, I cannot feel anything. And that's when I have to do direct communication with a part. So I cannot do it here, obviously. Maybe some other times I can do like a demonstration where one person can do the demo with me and then others can see. But as for now, this is going to be my goal for this experiential session, is to help you connect to that inner self, that self-led part, that true self, and to start exploring your parts, your system. So we all have the whole system of parts. And as you work with IFS, you can start naming those parts and do like a parts map. You can also do like art therapy with it. I do paintings from one part, another part, and see how I can merge them, the polarization. You can do journaling exercises. That's something I also do every day to see what parts are active. Even this morning, I did the whole journaling session on my parts. And that's a beautiful way to navigate life, because I can see that, okay, I am not that part that doesn't want to do anything, or that part that wants to do everything and doesn't even want to do the morning rituals, because I can just see the needs of those parts and see how can I meet them. So the same for you. My goal is to help you see those parts, see what's the intention, the positive intention of those parts, to better understand. All my life, I've been trying to get rid of my inner critic, to say, you're ruining my life, get out of here, stop, shut up. And it was just getting stronger. And in IFS, it's completely the opposite. We give space for all those parts and just listen to them with compassion, curiosity, clarity, and see, what are they really trying to do for me? What are they afraid that's going to happen? What are their fears? What exiles do they have? And I learned that actually 50% of my inner critic was actually a legacy burden from my grandma, so it's not even mine. And then it was protecting me. It's wanting me to be validated and acknowledged and to be part of the society and to be helpful. And when I saw all of these positive intents of my inner critic, it immediately transformed, because all we want is to be seen. All the kids want is to be seen. So let's see how it goes and how we can actually see what is happening. What is that part trying to communicate to us? It can also be a pain you're experiencing, anything really. And also, we're not going to go to the exile, because that usually requires more of my guidance one-on-one. It's more fragile. And sometimes if we go to the exile without listening to the protector, it can lash out, and then it can be even worse. So let's be very gentle and just exploring the protector parts. And it would be very useful. Sometimes I find, well, if it's not one-on-one session, to have a journal where you can write something, because if your mind is very active, with which hopefully the hypnosis will help a little bit, but if the mind is active, sometimes it's hard to notice the part, what is active in ourselves, because it's just too much. And writing down, it kind of quiets the mind, it slows it down, so you can also have something open, if you want to journal about it, it can be very useful. So Sally wants to meet with the shyness, emotion of the shy. That's good. Oh, is it a protector? Well, it's some exiles can also have those emotions. So it's hard to say from now, is it for sure a protector or an exile? But when you meet with that, it doesn't really matter to now name it. Is it an exile or a protector? What's important is just to meet with that part. I wanted to give just the introduction of the part so you would have more understanding. But really, the point of this is to hold space for anything that's there and see, why is that shyness there? What is it serving? What purpose does it have? What is it afraid is going to happen if it didn't make you shy? But it's very important always to check in how you are feeling towards anything that you're observing, because if you are sensing, I don't want you in my life, I want to get rid of you, usually there's another part, that polarization that I was talking about before. And when there's polarization, there's just going to be fight. There's not going to be that true sense of opening and understanding of the part. So it's very important always to connect to that self aspect again. Okay, so if everybody is ready, I invite you to settle in where you are. Maybe take a sip of water if you feel you're thirsty. Well, I guess you weren't speaking as much as me, so. And I invite you just to take 3 deep breaths. You can soften your eye gaze. Take in your belly and out through the mouth. And again, in through the belly. Hold the top and through the mouth. And one last, in through the belly. When you're full, hold at the top for 1, 2, and exhale through the mouth, let it go. Very good. And I will do a rapid induction because this is a very short guided meditation. So I want you to now look up above your eyebrows. Open your eyes as if you were trying to look in your eyebrows. And notice how with each breath, as you look into your eyeballs, your body becomes more and more relaxed. And how with each blink, your body goes into a deeper state of relaxation. And when you feel that your eyes are getting tired of all the flickering, you can gently close your eyelids, but keep looking up. And your eyelids are still going to be flickering, but keep looking up. And feel how your body is getting deeply relaxed. As if there was a wave of relaxation coming over your body. With each flickering of your eyelids, you get deeper and deeper. And when you feel you are in a deeper state than before, you can relax your eye gaze into a normal position. Keep your eyes closed. I cannot hypnotize you. You can only hypnotize yourself. Only you can take yourself into that deep state. And you are safe. You can take yourself out whenever you want. You are in control. So now I will just do a quick scan of the whole body to deepen the relaxation, to deepen your experience, and to bring you that natural state of hypnosis, that flow state that we talked about before. So allow yourself to settle in. Take this time for yourself. And if you are a visual person, you can imagine a bucket of light coming, streaming to you at the top of your head. And when it touches and fills your whole head, it completely relaxes every cell in your body. And you can sense how your eyebrows relax, your eyelids become heavy, like a thick, heavy blanket, weighing down your eyes, your cheeks, your lips become fully relaxed. And now sense your whole head full of that relaxing light, and how it becomes heavy and warm. So now that light flows deeper down through your body, filling your neck, your shoulders, and you all feel how it just reaches a deeper relaxation. The light streams through your chest, your belly, your arms, and now you can sense how your whole upper body is so relaxed, so heavy, so at peace. How everything else fades away and you can only hear my voice and feel your own internal sensations. And now that relaxing light flows deeper into your hips, your thighs, reaches your knees, and goes all the way to the tips of your toes. Now your body is so heavy that even if you try to move, it kind of is difficult. And the more you try to lift your hands up, it becomes even heavier and even more relaxed. That's right. Very good. So now I will count from 10 to 1, and with each number, you will step down a flight of stairs, and you will take a breath in and out with each step, and with each breath and each step and each number, you will go deeper and deeper into your internal world. And when you reach step 1, you will come to a place where you feel completely safe and at ease, where you can meet with your higher self, your true essence, and let that fill your whole body. So now stand in front of the staircase and make your first step, 10. Take a breath in and out and sense how your body is becoming more relaxed, more at peace. Go down, step 9. You go deeper and deeper. Breath in and breath out, step 8, 7, and you sense how your whole body is becoming still, your mind is becoming absorbed. Step 6, breathe in, and as you breathe out, you can sense how you're becoming more relaxed where you are. Step 5, step 4, and you know that only 3 steps are left to reach your completely safe space where you feel so connected, so loved. Step 3, you go deeper, deeper still. Step 2, and finally step 1. And now you step onto the ground and you are in a beautiful garden. the greenery, the flowers. Take it all in. Maybe there's a river nearby or a lake, maybe an ocean. Maybe it reminds you of a place you were somewhere before where you felt so safe, so at peace, so connected with everything around you. And remember how it feels when your whole body is filled with that true essence of who you really are, that inner spaciousness. See what changes in your body. If that's within your practice, you can also invite your guides or your higher self. You can see light coming in and filling your body. You can put a smile on your face to embody this state of goodness. And lock it in your body. Allow yourself to feel all this goodness. Maybe take one more deep breath to finally allow it even more. What it would be like if you connected even more to that state. If you asked for guidance. Maybe if you haven't experienced what that feels like, you can always ask for guidance. It's always there for you. If it helps to imagine something like some light or a particular person or an animal cuddling you or coming over, you can also connect to that. That's beautiful. So remember that during that whole session and every time you need it, you can always come back to this state and always connect to your true essence. When you are feeling so grounded to the earth and to the cosmos, you feel your whole body present. That's right. And in the moment now, I will ask you to step aside and see yourself a situation where something has been bothering you. Find that trailhead. See yourself maybe where you experience a particular situation or you get triggered by a person, and see yourself from above as if you're observing that situation. How do you feel towards yourself there? What parts do you feel activated? Sense what's happening in your body. What do you notice? Usually it appears somatically somewhere within ourselves. It's either in the stomach, in your heart. Maybe you can sense your limbs tightening. And that's a very good trailhead to follow. That's a very clear signal that there is an activation of a part. And notice how you feel towards that activation, towards that sensation or that feeling. What first comes to mind? Don't try to think it, just feel it. And if you sense that you either want to get rid of it or you're angry at that part, that it's making you act out, or causing disturbances in your relationship or whatever the situation it is for you. And if you have that feeling of not acceptance, then it's a clear signal that there's another part overtaking yourself again, your true self. So just take a moment and ask if there is anything that is holding you from seeing that part, from meeting that part from your true self, to ease up a little bit, to take a step back. You can reassure them that you are not going to try to get rid of them, or you're not going to try to let them overtake you, because sometimes other parts are afraid that another part will overtake you. So just reassure that you are safe and see what changes as that part eases up a little bit. If you immediately feel compassionate and curious about the problematic part you initially saw in the situation, you can start a conversation from that true self. And you can ask that part to tell you anything they would like them to know about you, about them. Why do they do what they do? And if you want, you can write that down. You can, if you do take on writing, you can just kind of write as if you are that part. If that's anger, shyness, you can write as if that part is writing. I am here to do this and this for you. And you can ask that part, what is it afraid would happen if it didn't do what it's doing now? What would happen? And keep checking how you are feeling towards that part as you're observing it. And keep connecting to your true self so you could provide that loving kindness to that part. There's no rush. You can just meet with all that's there. When you feel like it told you what it's here to do, what it's protecting you from, you can ask, does it know how old you are? Because a lot of times our managers and exiles get stuck in the time when they got created. And they need an update that, now I am a 30-year-old woman and I'm not a 3-year-old anymore. So you can just check with that. And just see how that changes in the body. What different sensations appear as you meet with that part from that compassionate state. Does it transform? You can ask that part, how old is it? When did it get created? And see what it tells you. Maybe it shows you a moment in life when they got created. And see what's there to see. If they're feeling safe with you and opening up to you, you can ask, what are they protecting? Is there an exile that they're protecting, an inner wound that they're afraid will come out if they don't do the role that they're doing? If it's an inner critic, maybe there's something that they're protecting. For a controlling part, if you want, you can write something in the chat so I could provide you more guidance on the part that you're facing. That's right. You can just observe how it changes when it gets that attention. How does it react when they're not attacked, but they're met with this loving kindness? Maybe there are a few parts, not one part. Maybe some parts are interacting. And just notice everything that's happening, what parts are appearing. And if it's a fierce protector, you can ask them, aren't they tired of what they're doing? Do they like their job? Or maybe they would like some different role. The goal is to see the positive intent of the protector and to get the message. And don't worry if you cannot really meet with a protector, you cannot really understand what's happening in your body. If it's your first time doing this, it's totally normal. It's totally okay. Just stay observing your body, what's happening. That's perfectly fine. If some emotions come up, you can also let it out. You can also show that I hear you, I see you. Sometimes those parts want us to feel their emotions fully because we just push it down all the time. And we're coming to a close. Wherever you are in your process, you can thank your parts for showing up. And you can say to them that you will come back to them next time. That now you're aware that they're there and you will try to be more present with them. And now you can come back to that garden where you met, embodied that true essence of who you are. And now you can invite any spiritual figures or people who inspire you, who have a lot of self-energy that you can model, that you can take on that embodiment from them. Maybe any specific quality you would like to embody more. Maybe more joy or playfulness or courage. Anything that you feel you want to embody more, you can invite a symbol, a person, or anything else that symbolizes you, that quality. And you can see how that quality enters your body and you embody that now. And see how different you feel with that quality coming into you, whether that's presence or lightness, ease, peace. How does your body react to that quality? How different you can show up now to your everyday life situations, every triggers. And that's beautiful. And you can lock that in your body by pressing any two of your fingers. And you can know that whenever you need to come back to this quality, to this connection to your true self, you can press those two fingers and it will come back to you. Beautiful. And now I will count from 1 to 5. And when I count to 5, you will be back, present here, full of that inner presence, connected to your true self. 1, you can take a breath and sense how it's bringing you back here. 2, you're saying goodbye to all your inner world, you're coming up. 3, 4, and 5. You are back in your room. You can open your eyes, sense what's happening. If you do want to journal your experience, dive deeper into those parts, for sure do that. I'm curious to hear, how is this for you? Because this is the first time I'm doing such a group guided IFS, more extended version. And previously when I did a few samples of that, some people went really deep into connecting to all of themselves, and some people found it harder. So I'm curious how it was for you. What protectors did you meet? What came up? What emotions were there? Was it easy to stay in the self and to observe the part? Yes, sure, Vida. Enjoy your day. Thank you for coming. How was it for you? I get that it probably is hard to communicate right after a meditation. It's like maybe something shifted, maybe not. Yeah, Amelia. Well, usually we feel more anxious or heavier if we got blended with a part, if that overtook us, or if an exile showed up. So if you met with a protector and there was an exile behind it, it definitely can overwhelm. So my recommendation, what to do in those situations, is to stay with that. Stay and see, okay, what is this anxiousness and heavy feeling trying to tell me? Yeah. Where is it coming from? How is it trying to protect me? And you can use journaling, and what works best, I found for my clients in between sessions when things get triggered, it always does, is to do the journaling directly as you are the part. So you can do the journaling from the anxious part. Say, kind of imagine that you are the anxious part and you're just journaling. So I am the anxious part, and now I'm feeling really triggered because like you're not supposed to, I do all of this work and analyze, and it's just threat to the system. And what are you even thinking? And it's better just to stay in your lane, or you can say whatever. And your job is to just write from that part and then connect to yourself, come back to that true essence that we did in the beginning. You can imagine any situation where you felt expanded, loving, and then hold all of that, what you just wrote, and communicate in that way. I do acknowledge that it might be hard if you're new to IFS, but that's the best I can offer, to hold all of that. Yeah. Yeah, sleepy part. I could see you were always Celine is saying that it was a sleepy part for her. That you don't do too much. Funny thing, I always get that during breath work. I definitely relate to that. It's the numbing part, disassociating part. Oh, don't go there. It's too much, too soon. Okay, so I was afraid of me wearing myself out. It was 5 and thought I was 2. Oh, okay. So I was 5 years old. It laughed and said it loves its job. And the quality that was wanted to connect was with rejuvenation. Okay. What is it trying to protect you from, to not wearing yourself out? I see. So Sally wrote that she met with one hypnotherapist before and had never experienced this deep. Okay, I feel like I listen to what I felt, my trauma, and I communicate with them. Somehow resolved, or I feel lighter. You are amazing. I believe you are one of the hypnotherapists out there. Thank you, Sally. It's good to hear. Shelly fell asleep. Well, sometimes it is our bodily function that we didn't get enough sleep and then we fell asleep. But sometimes how Leanne, I'm not sure how I'm pronouncing that right. Leanne. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for butchering your name. Sometimes it is a protective mechanism to not allow us feel numbing. And clients who have extra protective systems, they cannot feel anything in the first session. They're like, what to feel? There's nothing in my body. There's nothing. There's this black void. And that's very common. So it can be a protective mechanism that a sleepy part is like, let's not do this work. Just continue as you are, because it's more safe to continue as you are than to change. Okay, she had a pretty intense 24 hours with an eating disorder. Horrible, intense sensations and symptoms. Okay. That makes sense, Shelly. Thank you for sharing that so openly. Well, the good news is that I find IFS very helpful for eating disorders. So that can be maybe useful for you to explore deeper. I don't know how deep you are in IFS. Anyone else wants to share how their journey was? Was it what they discovered? Any wants my comment on that? I'm reading what Penny wrote now. I think everybody can see the chat. So it says that the meditation was really good and I feel like I get connected to my body and mind. It was telling me to put more consistency in daily habits since I have struggle in addiction and up and down in mental health. Okay, well, sometimes, those parts do have a valuable message, like kind of higher self messages to us, what really needs to happen. And every morning, well, almost every morning, I do this journaling exercise where I write, what would love have me know now? And you can replace love with God, with your true essence, with your soul, with your guides, whatever you want. And it's a very useful tool to get those messages daily. What is it that you need to focus on right now? Maybe you need more consistency. Maybe you actually need more relaxation and just connection, because a lot of my years in practice with nutrition clients, it was based on willpower. Though I have to say 4 years back, I realized this is not going to help. So I went full into behavior strategies and all kinds of other habit change tools to kind of trick ourselves into doing it. But what I found in the end is that the best trick to consistently stick to any habit is to maintain a high level of self-energy. Because if we have a high level of self-energy, we will not want to procrastinate, to scroll mindlessly, to engage in disordered eating actions, depending on the severity. And everything is much easier when we are connected to that strong self. Because my whole mission with IFS is to help people connect to their inner self so that they could lead their lives not from those protection mechanisms run by anxiety and fear, shame, guilt, but to free ourselves and to live from our true selves. So if you want to know more about what I'm sharing, I have a YouTube channel. I share some of these things on my Instagram, Facebook. So you definitely come connect on that. I love connecting with all of you, especially working online. It sometimes feels so faceless. That's why I decided to do this online on Zoom. So it's good to see your faces and hopefully see you in some other meetings or in an online space. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me privately. How do you maintain a high level of self-energy? Penny said. So for me, it is journaling, movement, dancing, and anything that helps me get embodied, because high level of self-energy is basically being embodied in your body. So that is nervous system regulation, to notice what state I am in so I can come back to that ventral vagal state. And that is the regulated state where I feel connected, I feel whole, expanded. And for me, it's always keeping that pointer that anything that is happening, any parts, it's not me. I can notice them. Today I woke up with a lot of inner critic, like, who am I to do this workshop and to lead all these people? And like, it's always, something's always happening. But for me, to just maintain that distance, and doing journaling really helps. Any embodiment practice. Okay, I'm happy you're feeling inspired to explore more, really, because that is my goal with this, to put you on the path. Because if I were to have this 3 years ago, 5 years ago, it would definitely change the whole trajectory, and it would be so much easier to feel whole and not like I am unworthiness, I am shame, but to integrate that. Look forward to connecting with you in other workshops, in online spaces. And if you have any questions, as always, reach out to me. If you're feeling bad after this session, like, you know, what Emilia messaged in the chat, definitely also reach out. I will try to help out as much as I can. And yeah, have a beautiful rest of your day.